Hi guys. Are we ready for 20-30 minutes of Pilates? Day 3, I think it is, of the 10-day challenge. Today I'm going to focus a little bit on prone work. So we're going to do a lot of plank variations, kind of a Pilates inspired plank variations, really good for your core. Also a little bit of back extension, so swan dive prep, etc. So hopefully we get it all done in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We start off with a warm-up, just like I've been doing a kind of a shortened version of the warm-up. I'm going to do it seated again, but as I said to you before, you can do it standing. Let me see, make sure I'm in. Yeah, that should get us into the shot. Perfect. Okay, so we'll start with a little bit of a warm-up, a little bit of focus on the breathing, and then we'll get straight into today's session is really focused on your abdominals. Just be careful, you know, if there's anything that doesn't feel right or you feel instinctively that it's going to feel uncomfortable for your lower back, don't do it. You know, you can always message me and ask me after the class if there's anything that you're not sure of or you feel that you're not in the right alignment. Okay, so let's get started with the warm-up. Like I said to you, you can do this one standing if you prefer. I'm going to do it seated with the legs crossed. Let me turn this down a little bit. Okay, so sitting tall or standing tall, lengthen up tall through the crown of your head, the tips of your ears up towards the ceiling. I'm going to pull the muscle aside because I'm sitting on my sit bones. I want to feel the sit bones pressing down onto the floor, onto the mat. Okay, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, relax your neck, and we're going to take a slow deep breath in through your nose. So inhaling in through your nose and then breathe that out through your mouth. Good. And again, slow inhale in. And exhale out. Okay, inhaling in through your nose. Think of your favorite smell. Breathe it in. Imagine it there in front of you. Whatever your favorite smell is, breathe it in. And then as you're exhaling out through your mouth, try and relax your jaw. Try and relax your neck. Let your tongue drop to the bottom of your mouth as you're letting the air go. One more, just breathe in. Inhale. Slow inhaling. And breathe it out, relax your shoulders. On your next inhale, let your body weight shift to one side. So if you're standing, shift over to one foot and then shift over to the other. If you're on your sitting bones like I am, you're just pressing the bones, sit bones, bottom of the pelvis into the floor. One more each side. And then allow your weight to settle evenly through both sides. Lean forward to the front of your sit bones and then back. Inhale forward, exhale back, one more each way. And then coming onto the top of the sit bones, we're going to tilt the pelvis. Roll, curl your tailbone under and send it back. Tuck under, press back. One more, pushing the pubic bone forward, drawing it back. And then settle down into your sit bones, lift tall out of your waist. So the tips of your ears, the crown of your head, reach up towards the ceiling. And we're going to inhale, squeeze up your shoulders, and exhale, drop them. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up, and then release. One more, squeeze up, and drop. One shoulder at a time. Inhale, lift, release it. Other side, lift, and drop. One more each side. Squeeze up, and drop. Shake out with your hands. Up along your forearms, up over your elbows, into your shoulders and your upper back, right up into the upper back. Relax that down, round forward and open back. Round forward and press back. Okay, I want you to really feel that squeeze in your upper back. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. One more. Squeeze, waking up the upper back. Relax the arms down, rotate them in the socket. And then face the inside of your arms into your body, just round forward, squeeze back. Forward and back, one more. Forward, back, wide across your collarbone. So feel the muscles in your upper back activate. So you're sliding your shoulders down, you're opening out across your collarbone, upper back, you can feel those muscles activated, and then draw a little circle with your nose. So in other words, I'm trying to get you out of the rounded forward position. Open up the chest a little bit, slide the shoulder blades down, activate your back. Okay, reverse it. And then put your nose into the center of the circle, not up and down to your chin. Slide in and out with the nose and chin. Good. And then draw back in. Inhale here. Exhale, look over to one side. Bring it back center and over to the other side. Ear to your shoulder this time. Bring it up. And other side. Back center, ear to your shoulder, little quarter circle. Chin to your chest. Bring it up. Other side. Bring it up. Bring your shoulders up. Melt them down. And melt down. One more. Slide all the way down and hold it there. Now a little bit of focus on your breathing before we get into plank position or into prone position. So, excuse me. The idea is to send your breath wide into the back and the sides of your rib cage. So imagine you've like fish's gills here. You can tactile cue yourself if you want to. Send that breath into the palm of your hands right now. And then the real important focus on your core. Draw your navel to your spine. Feel like you're making your waist smaller. Draw up from the floor. Okay, send your breath wide, back and sides of your ribs. Activating your core by consciously contracting your abdominal muscles. Feel like you're drawing up in between your feet or in between your sit bones right now from the floor as you're breathing out. We're going for one more, just breathing. This breath is really important when we take it into prone position or into quadruped. Because when we start to do that, it's so important that because we're working against the force of gravity as you're in prone position, your abs are and your stomach is pointing down or facing down to the floor. You got to really focus on this breath. So this is where you activate it now while they're not under any pressure or too much challenge. I want you to really consciously contract your abdominal muscles. Feel that connection, belly button pulling in towards your spine. Feel like you're drawing up from the pelvic floor muscles as well. Not hunching up the shoulders when you're inhaling, keeping your shoulder blades sliding down. Try it one more time before we get onto all fours. So send in your breath into the back and the sides of your rib cage. And now this is where we really focus on that engaging navel to spine, exhaling out through your mouth as you're drawing your belly button in, drawing up through the floor of the pelvis as well. Okay, let's take that into quadruped. So you're bringing yourself onto your hands and knees. Knees directly underneath the hips, about hip distance apart. Hands directly underneath your shoulders, obviously shoulder width apart. Slide your shoulders away from your ears and we're going back to that breathing that you just did. So make sure in this position that you're not hollowing into your lower back, but you're equally not rounding up into the back. So do a couple of those cat-dog type movements with the spine. Tucking your tailbone under, lifting your tailbone up, and then neutral is somewhere between the two. So you've got that position where there is a neutral curve in the lumbar spine. Tailbone feels like it's being pushed back towards the wall behind you, and your shoulders are away from your ears. From here, go back to that breathing that we just did while you were seated. Send your breath wide, back inside your rib cage. And then feel that really strong connection with your core as you engage navel to spine. Squeeze it in. Feel like you're making your waist much smaller. Inhale wide, back inside to the ribs. Navel to spine. Notice that the lower back isn't moving. I'm drawing my navel up towards my spine, not pushing the spine up. So you're staying in your neutral position with your shoulders away from your ears. Engage the abdominal muscles. I want you to add an extra connection. That pelvic floor connection can be activated by feeling like you're drawing the inside of the thighs towards each other and drawing up and the sit bones towards each other. So let's try that again. Inhale wide, back inside to your ribs. Engage navel to spine first, and then feel like you're drawing your inner thighs towards each other, drawing up through the floor of your pelvis as well. So a really strong connection. Before we lift up the knees, I want you to focus on activating your glutes this time as well, the bottom muscles. So take an inhale wide, back inside to your ribs. Navel pulling up towards the spine. Feel like you're making your waist smaller, like you have a corset or a cylinder of muscle tightening. Inner thighs towards each other, pelvic floor muscles lifting up, and activate your glutes. So your bottom muscles activated as well. Okay, let's challenge that a little bit by tucking your toes under, Lift the knees up off the floor just a couple of centimeters. Engage abdominal muscles. Everything that we've done so far. Navel to spine. Make your waist smaller. Inner thighs towards each other. Glutes activated. And release it down. Shoulders away from the ears. So let me try a different angle with this so you can see the feet. So we're tucking under. So same positioning. Shoulders are away from the ears. Toes are tucked under. Engage navel to spine, inner thighs towards each other, lifting up the knees, activate your glutes. And release that down. One more of them. Be really careful that you don't let your shoulders hunch up when you're doing this. Because as we take this, I didn't realize I'm so close to the camera, you can't really see the full, you won't see the full plank. So let's go with it again, a bit better, yeah. Okay, so this time we're adding on, we're making it a little bit more challenging. Shoulders away from the ears. Navel to spine. Make your waist smaller. Inner thighs towards each other. Lift up the knees. Extend your legs back. So your glutes, your bottom muscles are engaged and switched on. Notice that I'm not letting my pelvis drop. I'm staying lifted. Shoulders are away. Squeeze inner thighs towards each other. Squeeze your glutes together. Push back through your heels and hold that. 3, 2, 1, release it down. Sit back and stretch. Okay, so remember with all of these, you can bring it back to the previous level if you find that there's any sort of pain or discomfort in your neck, your shoulders, or your lower back. Be careful with it. Don't continue working on pain. It's not going to achieve what you want, and in fact, it's the opposite. It's going to cause you issues. Work on what you've got and then build on that by practicing each day. So once again, you've got your levels. Yours could be level 1, where you're just focusing on that abdominal connection while your knees are on the floor. Send your breath wide, the shoulders are away from the ears, breathing into the back and the sides of your rib cage, engaging navel to spine, feel like you're cinching your waist in from the sides as well. Inner thighs towards each other, pelvic floor muscles, activate your glutes. Taking it on to the next step by lifting up the knees. And if you're comfortable with that one, extend back your legs, push back through your heels, and continue to squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, keep your shoulders away from your ears. Looking at your mat, probably about 10-15 centimeters in front of your hands. Release it down. Okay, if that one's going well for you, stretch your back. We're going to add on a little bit. Now these prone leg lift in Pilates was the classical exercise. It's where we lift the legs. So the legs are lifted one at a time, back behind you. We're going to do that one. As I said, minute that you feel you're putting pressure on your lower back, you're not keeping your abdominals activated properly, bring it down. You don't have to do the full 10 of these. Okay, same positioning, shoulders away from the ears. Engage navel to spine, squeeze in your waist, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, pelvic floor muscles so you feel like you're bringing your sit bones towards each other, and activate your glutes. Big deep breath in, lift up the knees, extend straight back, activating your glutes, inner thighs press towards each other, shoulders are away from your ears. On your inhale, lift one leg back behind, exhale, lower it, stay strong. Other leg lifts and lowers. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Pushing your heel back. Shouldn't feel anything in your lower back. The only place that we sometimes feel this is a little bit in the wrists and in the arms. And if you're feeling it a little bit too much there, push back into your heels more. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Inhale, lift, legs stay straight. One more each side. And lift and lower, relax it and sit it back. Now it's up to you if you want to do that a couple of times and just leave that in your practice, that's fine. We're going to add a couple of Pilates inspired variations of that plank just to keep plank interesting, because it's a really good exercise. The only time I recommend it though is if you really don't feel any sort of pressure in your lower back, or pressure obviously in your neck and shoulders if you have issues there. If that's the case, bring it down a step and build up slowly. But if you're doing these with me and you find them fine, rather than just sitting in a, or what would you call it, staying in a plank position and just holding it for a minute or two, which is quite boring, it's nice to add a little bit of variation to it. So all of these Pilates inspired movements involve you really focused on your alignment, where your rib placement is, your abdominals being engaged and switched on. Okay, we're going to add a slightly different variation to the lift that we just did. We're going to come down onto your elbows this time. So first of all, the same position with your quadruped, toes tucked under. Slide your shoulders away from your ears. Make sure you're not hollowed into your lower back or equally rounding up into your thoracic spine. Shoulders are away from the ears. Take your inhale in. Scoop your navel to your spine. Feel like you're making your waist smaller by pulling it in from the sides using your oblique muscles. Inner thighs draw towards each other. Sit bones feel like they're drawn towards each other. Tuck your toes under. Activate your glutes and lift up your knees. If you're ready to, extend back with your legs. Push, I know my feet have gone out of view, but the heels are really pushing back towards the wall behind me. From here, take a big deep breath in, come down onto one elbow, the elbow, and then the other one directly underneath your shoulders. Push back through your heels, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, lift and lengthen one leg, exhale, lower. Try not to lift the butt too much. Keep your ribs up into the back of the body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Squeeze your glutes. 4 more of them. 3 more. Last one. Relax it. Bend in and sit back onto your heels. And stretch. Good. Bring yourself back up and lie onto your front. So lying onto your tummy, slide your shoulders away from your ears and bring your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. From here, we're going to extend the spine a little bit. So bringing yourself down, take an inhale. Slide your shoulders away from your ears, lengthen back with your toes and float up. Inhale here at the top. Exhale, lower. Inhale at the bottom, slide your shoulders away, float up. Inhale at the top and exhale lower. One more. Float it up. Shoulders slide away and exhale lower. From here, this time we're going to lift and lengthen one leg back behind and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. One more each side. Lift and lower. And relax it. And once again, pushing into your forearm. Float and slide up. Shoulders sliding away from your ears. And release it down. 2 more. Release it. And 1 more. Left. And lower. Perfect. Bring your hands in underneath your shoulders. Push the floor away. Bring your knees in underneath your hips. Into your quadruped position again. And we're going to roll, curl your tailbone under and lift. Tuck your tailbone under and lift it. 2 more. 1 more. And then tuck your tailbone under, sit your butt back onto your heels, fold out your elbows, bring your forehead towards the mat. Slide your hands in underneath your shoulders, take a big deep breath in and press the floor away. Unfurl your spine, shoulders slide down, head comes up last. In this position, sitting back onto your heels, I'm kind of gone out of shot, push your quads, press them up towards the ceiling so you're stretching. So you're reaching yourself back. Sorry guys, I've gone out of shot. Okay, reaching back, it's better. Opening up into your quads and into your hip flexors. Tuck your tailbone under, push your pubic bone up towards the ceiling. Good. And relax that. Come back up, couple of little shoulder rolls. Reverse them. Hug in around your upper back. Take a big deep breath in between your shoulder blades. And swap. Hands back behind your tailbone. Reach back with your knuckles. Open up into your chest. Hands in front, chin to chest. And reach it. Relax that. Roll the shoulders. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions on those planks, on Pilates plank or any other kind of plank, and you think I can help a little bit, please feel free to message me. Yeah, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Get out in the sunshine, get some fresh air, and I shall see you all here tomorrow. Same time. Thanks, guys.